to Midday News at Idea Television. I am Adewale Olashokwe. We begin with the headlines. NAF commissioned KADUNA facilities for advanced aircraft training. Egypt unveils AI-powered platform linking startups, investors and institutions. The federal government unveils intervention to combat tomato sugarcane pests. Google-backed RESILIO Africa launches to tackle rising cyber threat. Away from Africa, China summons Western envoy over Jimmy sentencing criticism. U.S. military says it struck a vessel in Caribbean, killing 3. In business, African Development Bank approves $200 million for climate-smart farming in Nigeria. And in health, World Health Organization condemns U.S. hepatitis B vaccine trial in Guinea-Bissau. And in sports, CAF reaffirms Morocco as host of WAFCON 2026. Lastly in sports, 56 grassroots teams set for 10th TAIWO AFOLABI Under-17 football tournament in Lagos. And lastly, Lagos City Marathon kicks off with elite athletes in action. Now the news in detail. The Nigerian Air Force has commissioned new infrastructure at Nigerian Air Force Base Kaduna aimed at strengthening pilot training and boosting operational readiness for next-generation aircraft. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sunday Aneke described the development as a major step toward preparing pilots to operate modern platforms and project decisive air power in the fight against terrorism. He noted that the project goes beyond infrastructure, emphasizing the goal of building a highly motivated and mission-ready force capable of working in synergy with ground troops to achieve national security objectives. The Air Force also praised President Bola Tinubu for supporting defense partnerships with Turkey, including the acquisition of advanced helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles. Air Marshal Aneke revealed that strategic engagements in the United States, Italy and Turkey are already yielding results, with plans to produce 24 M346 fighter ground attack aircraft and 12 AH-IZ Viper attack helicopters and 10 AW-109 Tracker helicopters. The newly commissioned facilities include student pilot quarters and residential apartments for personnel aimed at improving welfare and enhancing the training of pilots who will operate the Air Force future fleet. Now to Egypt. The country has launched Egypt Innovates, the country's first fully integrated national digital platform for innovation and entrepreneurship. The unveiling took place in Cairo during the AI Everything Middle East and Africa exhibition, attended by delegations from more than 30 countries, developed by a consortium led by ENTLAC with partners Robusta and Kamelze. The initiative forms a public-private partnership connecting startups, investors, universities, research centers and public institutions within one digital ecosystem. Officials say the platform is designed to boost funding access and strengthen coordination across Egypt's fast-growing innovation sector. It features a dynamic database showcasing startups' business models, an automated system matching founders with investors, and a learning center offering training, mentorship, and entrepreneur simulations. Authorities also emphasize the importance of Arabic language content to improve digital inclusion and expand access to opportunities for local investors. Following its pilot phase, Egypt Innovates now connects 780 entities with more than 81,000 registered users, supported by thousands of pieces of sector-specific content and expert advisors. The launch comes as Egypt's startup ecosystem continues to grow, with local startups rising nearly $614 million in venture capital and debt financing in 2025. Officials further say the platform will strengthen collaboration and position the country as a regional innovation hub. In another news, the federal government has launched an emergency intervention program to tackle the Tuta Absoluta and Africa sugarcane borer pests threatening tomato and sugarcane production across Nigeria. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Senator Aliyu Abdullahi, said the initiative will sensitize farmers and extension workers provide approved pests control inputs and deliver technical guidance on integrated post-pest management, describing the infestation as a national agricultural emergency. The minister stressed that tomatoes remain a major source of income for millions of smallholder farmers and a key driver of job across production, processing, transport and marketing. He emphasized the need for timely government action, strong collaboration with states, particularly frontline areas like Kana or improved farmer awareness to protect harvest and investment. The minister also highlighted the release of improved tomato varieties Hortitum 4 and Hortitum 5 and announced the upgrade of the Pest Control Division to a full federal Department of Plant Health and Pest Control Services. Officials say the move aligns with efforts to safeguard strategic crops, promote climate-smart agriculture and strengthen Nigeria's food security. In another news, a new Pan-African cybersecurity initiative, RESILIO Africa, has been launched in Lagos to strengthen digital defenses across major African economies. Backed by Google and the Cybersecurity Foundation, the program will support 200 institutions in Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa, including hospitals, schools, media outlets, helplines and police services. Organizers say the initiative aims to address growing cyber vulnerabilities threatening public services and economic activity across the continent. The scale of the challenge is significant. Kenya recorded about 2.54 billion cyber threat incidents in the first quarter of 2025. While Nigeria organizations face roughly 4,700 attempted attacks per week in early 2026, through RESILIO Africa, participating institutions will undergo comprehensive security health checks, followed by tailored 6 to 12-month improvement plans focused on incident response, data protection, and security system configuration. Project leaders say the initiative prioritizes practical institution-specific solution and will provide threat intelligence updates, emergency support, and digital resilience training. Organizers hope the future phase will deliver measurable security improvements, attract further funding, and expand coverage across more African countries, including underserved francophone regions. We'll go on a quick break now. When we return, the news continues. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is Idea Television Midday News. Now the rest of the news. Away from Africa, China has summoned senior diplomats from the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia, and the European Union in Hong Kong after their government criticized the sentences of media mogul Jimmy Lai. Beijing's Foreign Ministry office in Hong Kong said it expressed strong dissatisfaction and urged the government to respect China's sovereignty and assert its rule of law. The move follows statements by Western officials who raised concerns about press freedom and the handling of national security cases in Hong Kong. Chinese authorities rejected the criticism, describing the comment as irresponsible and an interference in the country's internal affairs. Meanwhile, Beijing insisted that the case is being handled strictly according to the law and warned foreign governments against further commentary. The diplomatic dispute adds to ongoing tensions between China and Western nations over Hong Kong legal and political climate. Now to the United States. The military has reported that a it's carried out a strike on a vessel in the Caribbean Sea yesterday, resulting in the death of 3 individuals, according to a post by the U.S. Southern Command on social media. Authorities described the targeted boat as being engaged in narcotic trafficking operations along known drug routes in the region. The announcement comes amid a broader campaign with the Trump administration to disrupt suspected drug smuggling operations by using military force at sea, with several such strikes reported over recent months. These actions are framed by the United States officials as part of efforts to counter illicit narcotics flow, but have drawn scrutiny from some legal experts over the lack of public available evidence linking those killed to drug trafficking activities. Now to business. The African Development Bank has approved a $200 million loan to support climate-smart and technology-driven agriculture in Nigeria. The funding will strengthen food security, boost productivity, and improve agricultural value chains through the second phase of the federal government's National Agricultural Growth Scheme, Agro Pocket program. The 4-year project, scheduled to begin in March 2026, will expand farmers' access to quality input, digital tools, and modern climate-resilient farming systems. The initiative builds on earlier interventions under the African Emergency Food Production Facility and aims to scale priority agricultural investment nationwide while deepening value addition across key crops. Management say that the first phase delivered measurable results, with more than 600 agro dealers supplying inputs to farmers, 118,000 hectares of wheat cultivated, and a national wheat output tripling to about 500,000 metric tons in 2024. The new phase targets a 5-fold increase in wheat production and a 20% rise in rice output as Nigeria seeks to reduce food imports and strengthen its agricultural sector. Now to health. The World Health Organization has raised serious concerns over a planned U.S.-funded hepatitis B vaccine trial involving newborns in junta-run Guinea-Bissau, questioning the study's scientific basis and ethical safeguards. The agency stressed that the hepatitis B birth dose vaccine remains a proven and essential public health intervention used globally to prevent life-threatening liver disease. The controversy follows a decision by the U.S. advisory panel appointed by Health Chief Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to stop recommending the vaccine for all newborns in the United States. U.S. authorities say the Guinea-Bissau study is intended to examine the broader health effect of the vaccine and address existing evidence gaps, a move that has sparked concern among global health experts. And now to sports. The Confederation of African Football has confirmed that Morocco will host the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations, dismissing speculation about a possible change of venue. CAF President Patrice Motsepe announced after an executive committee meeting in Dar es Salaam that the tournament will go ahead as scheduled from 17th to April 3rd, 2026, stressing that the competition remains firmly on track. CAF said the timeline cannot be altered because the tournament forms part of the qualification pathway for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. The clarification follows comments from South Africa's Deputy Minister of Sport suggesting the country could step in due to stadium readiness, which sparked confusion about the hosting rights. South Africa's Sports Minister later clarified that the country's offer was only a contingency plan and that Morocco remains the official host. The 2026 edition will mark the third consecutive time Morocco stages the Women's African Cup of Nations after successfully hosting the 2022 and 2024 tournaments. In other sport news, no fewer than 56 grassroots football teams are set to compete in the 10th edition of the TAIWO AFOLABI Under-17 football tournament kicking off in Lagos today. The competition, organized by Lagos State Grassroots Soccer Association and sponsored by CFAX Group, will feature 32 male teams and 24 female teams, making it one of the largest youth football events on the state's grassroots calendar. Preliminary matches will take place at the Ojo and Oniyo Sports Center in Ebute and the Anthony Mini Stadium in Bagada, with the grand finale scheduled for May 2nd, 2026 at the Mobolaji Johnson's Arena in Unicom. Organizers say the tournament has become a key platform for discovering and nurturing young football talent over the past decade. Sponsors meanwhile say the initiative reflects a long-term commitment to youth empowerment and sports development. Football stakeholders, scouts, and former internationals and expected to attend the matches as the anniversary edition aims to raise the standard of grassroots football in Lagos. Lastly, in sports, the 11th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon began on Saturday, with runners taking to major routes across Lagos State in both 42-kilometer and 10-kilometer races. The full marathon flagged off at 6:30 a.m. from Orca Shopping Mall and Model Bellewe, Eco Atlantic City, finishing at Victoria Island, with the 10-kilometer race started at 9:30 a.m. from Grace Garden Event Center, Lekki. Organized by Nilayo Sports Management in partnership with the Access Bank and the Lagos State Government, the event is currently a gold label race and aims to achieve platinum label status, a distinction held by only 16 road races worldwide, none in Africa. Elite athletes from around the globe are competing to top prizes, with the elite category offering $50,000 for the first place, while Nigerian elite runners will contest for 2 million naira for the top spot. The 10-kilometer Nigerian category awards 500,000 naira for the first place. The Lagos State Lagos State authorities implemented traffic diversions along the marathon corridors, covering the coastal road for the full marathon and key Lekki Victoria Island sheets for the 10-kilometer race. LASMA and security agencies are managing the closure to ensure safety and smooth conduct of the event. That is all we have for you on Idea TV Midday News, but before we go, here is the recap of the headlines. NAF commissions Kaduna facilities for advanced aircraft training. Egypt unveils AI-powered platform linking startups, investors and institutions. Federal government unveils interventions to combat tomato sugarcane pests. Google-backed RESILIO Africa launches to tackle rising cyber threats. Away from Africa, China summons Western envoys over Jimmy Lai sentencing criticism. U.S. military says it struck a vessel in Caribbean, killing 3. And in business, African Development Bank approves $200 million for climate-smart farming in Nigeria. In health, World Health Organization condemns U.S. hepatitis B vaccine trial in Guinea-Bissau. And in sports, CAF reaffirms Morocco as host of WAFCON 2026. 56 grassroots team sets for 10th TAIWO AFOLABI Under-17 football tournament in Lagos. And lastly, Lagos City Marathon kicks off with elite athletes in action. Do not forget to follow us across our social media platforms at Idea Television. I'm Adewale Olashepo. Thank you for watching.